This is why you need the Stinger in your build. The Stinger is the most powerful Nova shield in the entire game, with a single Nova able to obliterate all that's around you. We'll get to how to maximize its damage a little later. First, how do you get it? It can only be dropped by Anathema of the Guardian Takedown, the first boss, with a whopping 9 immunity phases. The fight can be a bit of a slog, but you can lower your Mayhem level down to 8, which is the lowest Mayhem level that will guarantee an anointment if one drops. Like the Hellwalker, which we covered last week, the Stinger is a fixed part item, meaning there's no farm for augments, just anointments and elements, and we'll get to the best elements in a little bit. The Stinger is the most powerful Nova shield in the game because it's not your typical Nova shield. Its Novas deal melee damage, which scale off splash damage. Yes, they've somehow harnessed Bruce Lee's Warcry and put it in this shield. Its deadly Novas will erupt from around you whenever your shield breaks, and that makes the action skill start anointment the recommended choice. You could even go ASC melee damage, but typically you get that on your weapon instead. Speaking of weapons, this shield also serves to bolster them too. As while it's full, you'll gain 50% bonus melee damage, increasing the power of something like the Fish Slap, Blade Fury or Face Puncher, which are often found in builds where the Stinger resides. When farming a Stinger, there are two key elements that you'll want to look for, and one that sits at the bottom of the pile. The one at the bottom is a non-elemental Stinger because it doesn't apply any elemental bonuses, and thus you're missing out on a lot of damage. The best ones, however, include Cryo or Incendiary. Cryo is great because of its synergy with the Punchy. Frozen enemies receive 300% increased damage from melee sources. So if the Stinger's Novas don't kill them, they'll often freeze them, allowing you to easily finish them off. Incendiary, on the other hand, pairs majestically with the Unleash the Dragon artifact, empowering the Stinger's dots to deal damage based on the initial hit. With those two in combination, you can comfortably defeat a boss with a single Stinger Nova, nothing more. If you wanted even more damage though, you can simply whip out a weapon with an elemental crit anoint and land a critical to take that dot to the next level. It is one of the most busted interactions in the game and wouldn't be possible without something like the Stinger. There's also another cool interaction with it too. If you're using the Ripper, which deals increased damage against enemies you've meleeed, you can avoid stabbing them yourself and having the Stinger do it for you, massively increasing the gameplay loop. It's a shield that's best suited to melee Amara builds like the Mystic Striker, where I like to use a Cryo one for mobbing, and abuse the Stinger Dragon combo for some of the more meatier health bars. It also shines brightly in a Rack Attack Black build and something like Rack Stab, where the Rack Attack cycle allows you to trigger Novas constantly to comfortably lay waste to all that's around you. Zane with his cannon can certainly use the Stinger too, but lacks the synergies that Amara and Flak have. Moze, on the other hand, needs a bit of effort to make it work. Across all the Vault Hunters, there are a couple of items you can equip to maximize the damage of the Stinger's Novas. Those are, of course, the Psycho Stabber with ideally an action skill and melee damage anointment, and the Guardian with the same. There are other options out there, but those will work for everyone. Of course, you want melee damage rolls too on your class mod and artifact, with the latter able to roll twice, sitting at 88%, although there's only a 0.11% chance of that happening. AoE is also a nice roll on your artifact in either slot 2 or 3, which will not only increase the damage of the Stinger Novas, but the size of them as well. And that's another role you can look for on your class mod too.